Tonight, on a Nation Sports Show, we break down the first weekend of the March Madness tournament. March Madness lived up to its namesake, as there were some games that were decided in overtime and double overtime. Some shocking upsets also took place as well, and a number one seed was taken to the brink. We are now at the second weekend of the March Madness tournament. This Thursday, the Sweet 16 gets underway. Detroit, Los Angeles, and Dallas, Texas are some of the sites for the Sweet 16. For the first time in a very long time, all number one and number two seeds have advanced to the Sweet 16. Who will advance to the Elite Eight, and what shocking upsets will take place as well? The passion, the intensity, the pressure will rise as March Madness continues. Who will seize control in the tournament? It's win or go home. Don't get eliminated. Who will be one step closer to the national championship? It's showtime. Turn here. Turn here. Turn here. Turn here.
Good up to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here once again, and it is a Tuesday. And you know what that means. You wanted the best in the world of sports talk? Well, you got the best. We are live, and it is our Nation Sports Show. What's going on, everybody? I am Ezra Vickery here, of course. And we're ready to get rocking and rolling with you. We got a lot to talk about today. NCAA March Madness, of course. We got NFL, we got NHL, we got MLB starting up soon. We got a lot to get into, but obviously, first off, we got to say thank you to everybody who tuned into last week's show. It was a great show, once again, as it always is. So thank you guys for tuning in. But let's get into first off the ways you can interact with us, and of course that's at Owen_Sports Show on the old Twitter machine, Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and Instagram.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Don't forget to follow all of our individual social medias, which will be listed at the bottom of this video. Don't forget to follow the Nation's Corner at the Nation's Corner on the YouTube and Nation's Corner across most of their socials, except for Instagram, where it is the Nation's Corner. Follow them Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, same time as this show, where the lovely Dephausen, our heavy metal brother, Tony Justice, Front Row, John in South Jersey, the oldest bastard on planet Earth, Mongrovian Mike, and many, many more hop on the show and give their taste in the wonderful world of pro wrestling. Of course, don't forget their show's going to be live as well. Follow them, subscribe, and share with all your friends on that. If you love pro wrestling, tune into that show. Also, don't forget to follow at 2Sweet Cosplay across all socials. And we have some breaking news I'm going to announce right here on the show. We have a panel scheduled for Saturday, August 27th, 2:45 to 3:45. We will be doing our annual 2Sweet Cosplay meetup panel / photo shoot. We're excited to have that back. And even though it's not been confirmed, even though this is the big news here, our booth will be back. We will have the booth all 3 days at C2E2. So come hang out with us. We will more than likely be in Cosplay Central. Details to be finalized and to be announced very, very soon. So follow us at 2 Sweet Cosplay across all socials, including YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, all that good stuff. But enough of me yakking, plugging, trying to get not paid at all. Let's get right into it. And for tonight, the four-headed monster is back. And we're ready to rock and roll. Let's bring it in first with our boy right here, the leader of the Crimson Tide fandom, the one, the only JT, Joey Thornton. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having an amazing Tuesday. Spring is finally in session, and you know what that means, people. That's right, baby. Major League Baseball is back. Opening night is going to be Thursday with a handful of games. We are right in the middle of one of the most amazing times of the year. That, of course, being March Madness. We got some NFL free agency, some NBA to talk about. So why the heck am I still talking? Let's get to it, baby.
I was wondering the same question, but I digress.
Quiet you.
But, and of course, this guy right here. Here's a guy who's been MIA for a while for obvious reasons, health reasons, but he is back tonight for the first hour. He is our boy, the leader of the Niner gang, KR Kevin Rory. What's going on, my brother? Welcome back.
Yeah, it's good to be back, man. Hope everybody's doing good out there, and hope all you Cowboy fans have replenished your tears. Yes, I was holding that in for quite some time, but I digress. Anyway, it's good to be back on the show, guys, and talking all sports. Can't wait.
Absolutely, and of course, we can't do it without the patriarch of this show. And no, I'm not talking about Christian Cage. He is my heavy metal brother from North Carolina. A man who bleeds rock and roll like Cody's bleeding for WrestleMania after the promo with The Rock last night. Ladies and gentlemen, my heavy metal brother, Big Stevie Wyand. What's going on, my brother?
I think we could put that cliche to bed that only women bleed. Yeah, because Cody bled like a stuffed pig last night. Like that was insane, and that was one of the best Raws in quite some time. But anyways, we are live. We are here, and yes, the four-headed monster is back. And for the Cowboys, you are screwed.
Well, isn't that?
Well, then again, the Cowboys have always been screwed over the past 30 years. So what else is new at this point?
Especially here in the free agency scene for 2024. But I digress. But we got a busy show tonight. NCAA, March Madness, MLB, NBA, NFL news. You know what that means. Let's grip it and rip it and do it live.
Oh, well, we don't grip it and rip it here, really, because that would be an OnlyFans subscription, but I digress.
True that.
Yeah. We'll see that for Steven's side job. But anyways, moving on, we got a lot to get into, and it's been a while since we had the four-headed monster back. It's good to be back with everybody here, but we're gonna get right into it, and it's gonna be something I know that Mr. KR Kevin Rory here has a bone to pick, and we're going to discuss it right now. And that is that the NFL has made the decision, despite the opposition from the NFL Players Association, to ban the hip drop tackle. This is a decision that has, of course, caused a lot of discourse and discontent within the NFL community, not just with the fans, but with the players themselves. Unfortunately, the call was made to ban this tackle for whatever reason. I'm going to come out and say this: another bullshit rule, another bullshit ban on something that's been a part of the game of football for decades and decades. But what can we do? It's the NFL; they control everything. Roger Goodell is basically the overlord is basically the Darth Vader or Darth Sidious of the fucking NFL at this point. So, Kevin, you haven't been on the show in a while. I know you want to go off on this topic. Sir, the floor is yours.
I don't know what an NFL defense is supposed to do to stop a bigger offensive opposition player, I just don't get it because when you sign up for football, football is a contact sport. There will be injuries. There will be there's a risk that everybody understands that you take. The hip drop tackle is one of them because there are guys that are bigger than you that you cannot it is physically impossible for you to go head up and form tackle someone who's almost a foot higher than you and 150 pounds heavier than you. I don't get it. Who's already got forward momentum running full speed ahead trying to get to the first down marker or the end zone. So what are you supposed to do when you wrap them up? Just stand on your feet while he's constantly dragging you 25, 30 yards down the field. I don't get it. And then you want to ban the hip drop tackle because it's injuring players, but yet you still are playing football on artificial turf where there's been several and more injuries that happen on that turf, like knees, ACLs, Achilles, everything. I mean, good God, we just watched my starting linebacker for the 49ers, Dre Greenlaw, tear his Achilles just running on the field on the turf. That turf is not safe for players. It's not safe for any player at any given time. MetLife Stadium, all over that, it's about 80% full turf now in most stadiums, and it's ridiculous. That's where the most of the injuries happen. So the NFL wants to steer away from concussions. I get it. And I said this 2-3 years ago when they came up with the concussion and hit the head penalty, fines, this and that. I said there will be more lower injuries because, again, what is a defense supposed to do? You have a target area who's running full speed. The NFL plays 10 times faster than collegiate ball, high school ball, all of that shit. You got a moving target that's moving the speed of sound going as fast as they can. What are you supposed to do as a linebacker? Like, where's your target area? Because it's going to move so much, you're going to hit players in the head. You're going to hit players in the knees. As long as it's not with ill intent, I don't think nobody should be fined. I don't think they should have banned that. I think it's stupid. It's just, I don't know, another unfair advantage for the offense. And I can't stand it. It's sickening. I know NFL defensive players on Twitter all day that I follow have just been outraged. Guys like Javon Holland, pro safety from Miami Dolphins, is sick of it. Basically tweeted out, breaking, tackling ban. Imagine that. And guys like Javon Hargrave for the 49ers and all-pro linebacker Fred Warner, Roquan Smith, they're all against it. Richard Sherman, Hall of Fame cornerback says it's absolutely it's crazy. And I agree. I have nothing but I agree 100%. Certain offensive players are for that rule, like Brandon Marshall, former Bears wide receiver. And I get their standpoint, but again, injuries happen all the time in football. It's just a freak accident. Any player that's got hurt with that hip drop tackle has not complained whatsoever about it. I didn't hear Tony Pollard after the game against the 49ers last year in the playoff come out and cry about it. I didn't hear Mark Andrews, who had basically the majority of his season ruined this year off of a hip drop tackle from Logan Wilson. Never heard him say one word about it. He said, you know what? It's the risk we take. It happens. It's bodies going certain ways and extending it, and my ankle landed wrong. It is what it is. Nobody's complained about it, but the owners and the commissioner just think, good God, let's go give our offense more of an advantage because that brings in more ratings. Imagine if an offense scores 70 points. Imagine if the score 70 to 63, how many people would watch it? That's what I think it is. It's nothing but viewership, and it's just a bunch of prima donna crap. At this point, it's a glorified flag football league, and it's ridiculous.
And these players know the risk that they're taking every single time they play it down and in this league. Because at the end of the day, these guys that bust their ass every day in and day out, night after night, they go in there into the rec room and do what they got to do, into the film room and study on the game. And they know that it's a violent sport. They put their lives on the line every time they get on the field. And they know the risk that they are putting themselves into when they go onto that field. Because at any given minute, any given second, you could be injured.
I just wish before these rules. Whoever was arguing it like they do in court, whatever, trying to make the rule change. I wish someone would have made the owners and the commissioner and all the people that were for the rule change present evidence of any player running down the field and the defensive guy tackling him without a hip drop tackle. There has not been one because a guy who runs a 4.40, and guys are fast now, by the way. If anybody's watched the NFL Combine, you got fucking big ass defensive linemen running 4.4s now, hauling ass down the field. How the fuck, as a defensive player, are you supposed to catch up to an offensive guy running that fast with that much momentum going forward and just all of a sudden stop in his tracks without falling? You know what? There's so many memes. I can hear Tony Romo now. Oh, I don't know, Jim. He might have dropped the hip. Let's see what it is. It's going to be a close one. I can hear it now. I can hear Tony Romo now screaming about the hip drop tackle.
It's just ridiculous how PC and PG the NFL's become with everything, with rules, celebrations, tackling. It's just become, like you said, it's supposed to be glorified flag football without the flags. It's ridiculous. These rules should not be in place. Obviously, I understand player safety is important. It is important in a certain realm. It is. We don't want these players with CT. We don't want these players getting hurt. We don't want these players getting their careers ended. But also at the same time, you're taking away a lot of these plays that are not even that dangerous. You're taking away a lot of these plays that are not even that detrimental to the careers of the player tackling or the player getting tackled. And this is exactly it. Shit like this needs to stop. I don't get it why the NFLPA opposed this by a majority. And yet Roger Goodell and company got to step in and say, nope, we're making the change. Screw you guys. You guys don't matter. That makes no sense to me.
Exactly.
But we should have seen this coming 2 years ago when they changed the rule about sacking the quarterback. I don't know if anybody's watched the game. I believe it was a Monday night football game with the Raiders and the Chiefs. The Raiders got 2 back-to-back sacks. I think it was the Chiefs got back-to-back sacks, and both were flagged because a guy weighs 300 pounds, and they don't want him falling on the ground on top of the quarterback. What are you supposed to do? Lay the quarterback down in the bed like a baby in the crib? Like, what are you supposed to do? I don't want to hurt you, so I'm just going to put you down nice and softly. It's football, man. Everybody should have seen this coming 2 years ago.
Exactly, and I mean, at this point, they might as well give all the football players tutus, skirts, and a bunch of flags. They play flag football at a bunch of freaking ballerinas.
Hell, I watched the damn Powerpuff Girl football team play harder than the NFL's about to play next year. Jesus Christ!
Right?
Oh my God! Imagine a flag, dude. Imagine if this was rugby.
Oh God!
No helmets, no nothing.
Rugby teams
helmets,
make
no pads.
And rugby football today makes the current NFL look like Boy Scouts.
Yes.
I'm sorry. The NFL is supposed to be the greatest sport in America, when in reality it's the most ticky-tack bullshit sport. When you look at it from that perspective, give me a fucking break.
Well, I think as far as totality sports-wise, I got to say all of American sports are, man. They've gone downhill, man. Basketball, you can't touch somebody without it being a flagrant two. You can't hand check nobody, no guards. It's an offensive league. Baseball the same way. Now you can't block the bag. You got the damn tag away from the bag. They're just making it trying to bring in more money. That's all it is. They want to have people playing and scoring so more people will watch. Because Lord forbid it be another Super Bowl like the Patriots and the Rams was them 4 5 years ago. Nobody wants to watch them defensive game. Everybody wants to watch the Eagles and the Patriots type of game. 44-37. That's what we want. That's where they come up with these ideas in all 3 of those sports.
Dude, forget you got the NFL who, like you said, you can't even flick a fingernail at them without getting a fucking penalty flag. You got the NBA. People are earning Academy Award nominations for how much they're flopping and faking getting hurt.
LeBron.
Anthony
LeBron.
It wasn't. They've
No,
been
no,
watching
God, I
too
got
many
choked
LeBron
up.
videos.
Anthony Davis is legitimately hurt. He just breaks like Buzz Lightyear falling off the stairs in Toy Story.
He need to put him in bubble wrap. That's all
Years
that
of
is.
academy training. Years of academy training wasted. But anyways,
If
back
I-
to the NFL. It's ridiculous how these rules just oh my god. But anyways, glad we got that out of our system. Let's go ahead and get into a couple NFL news notes while we're on the topic. Here's some breaking news that just broke here. Former Bills All-Pro cornerback Tre'Davious White intends to sign a 1-year, $8.5 million deal with max value up to $10 million with the Los Angeles Rams.
Whoa! Now that's a good pickup for the Rams.
That you got to show me something, man. Too, an Achilles tear on top of an ACL tear might be another Klay Thompson. I don't know.
You got a
I just
point
want, it ain't
there.
worth
Now
the
that
risk.
you mention it,
Yeah, I don't
got
think
a
it's worth
point
the risk.
Yeah. Also, we talked about this in the pre-show. Cordero Patterson, who's been around the block, has done stints with the Falcons and the Vikings, has agreed to a 2-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Definitely will help their return game.
Yep, he reunites with his former head coach, Arthur Smith.
And honestly, I think that's a great pickup considering they changed the kickoff rules too. So it's more favorable again to the returner and the offensive team.
And
So I think it's
Patterson's
a
one of
good
the best
pickup
kick
for
returners
Pittsburgh.
in the NFL.
To ever live. Yep, to ever play.
Yeah, and it's hard to find good kick returners nowadays who have a legacy similar to like a Cordero Patterson. Reminds me a lot of like a Devin Hester. He reminds me a lot of.
Yep.
Yeah, Devin Hester and Dante Hall.
Yep.
It's hard to find. It's hard to find returners because they either A, they can't find the hole and they get swallowed up, or B, they fumble the damn ball and muff the damn catch every damn time they damn try to, or C, both of them. So
What's going on,
it's hard
William?
to
How
find
you
a
doing,
good
sir?
returner.
Yeah.
Or D. They pretend to be CD Lamb and can't CD ball.
Listen, I want to say one more thing about this hip drop tackle, and I'm done with it. I just want to say, if Albert Haynesworth and Vince Wilfork's fat ass can fall down on the opposing team running back 5 to 10 times a game, I think we will be okay with hip drop tackle. That's all I'm saying. I mean, they weighed a damn 500 pounds. Jesus Christ, it was like the Big Show out there, landing on people, doing frog splashes on running backs. If they can handle it without non-injury, I think the NFL should be okay. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god!
Well, it's Vince Wilfork.
500 pounds tackling a skinny running back every time, 10 times a game, and he ain't got hurt.
If Bronson Reed cannot
Okay,
keep
I'm
Sami
done.
Zayn with the
Jesus
finish
Christ! Wow.
But
That's all I'm saying about it. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're good. You're good. The NFL announced that they will be playing 2 games this year on Christmas Day.
Oh dear God! Please don't give us no fucking bullshit game like we got on the last 2 Christmases.
Please,
Well, not last year, because last year was a decent Christmas slate.
Please don't give us the Black Friday game like we did the Jets and the Dolphins.
Yes. Who the hell? Do not give us some Jets and damn Steelers game for Christmas Day. Who the fuck is the Grinch done made that schedule?
We're gonna get any team versus the Panthers.
Oh dear! Hey,
that needs to be one of the. That needs to be one of the Germany games for 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that way Steven can sulk in his eggnog.
No. The Panthers should get the Germany game that's going to start at 6 a.m. and it should be branded only on Peacock. There, problem solved.
Instead of fa la 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 la, the Panthers are going to be like fa la 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 la. Ouch.
Hell, they're going to put the L's in fa la 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 loss. They're going to have about 12 of them.
Oh, we have so missed this.
Yes.
That's why they need to have the Christmas Day in Germany with the Panthers so their L's, their loss can be fa la 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 la. That'll be their
Kev, maybe the Cowboys will play on Christmas Day, so that way CeeDee Lamb can have a Christmas gift where he saw D-Ball.
Yeah, he could have a gift.
He could.
But then again,
No.
Dak Prescott could give the defense give the defense the ball. Hell, everybody gets a win. It's
You
a
get a
good
pick.
Christmas
You
Day
get a
game.
pick. Everybody gets a
You
pick.
get a pick. You get a pick. You get a fumble, and you get a loss.
He's the Oprah Winfrey of interceptions.
Ha!
Okay, God.
True.
Here's a guy.
Yeah, but then again, what makes this part even more awkward, though, is the fact that Christmas Day is on a Wednesday this year. So you're telling me you're gonna have 2 games on a freaking Wednesday?
Yes.
Honestly, if at this point when they make the schedule, I'm against short weeks. Don't get me wrong, but I think they should make it scheduled to where the 2 teams that are in the on Christmas Day game, they're coming off the bye the week before. That way, it ain't such a 2-day short week. Like have those 2 teams that's playing on Christmas Day on the bye the previous Sunday, then they play. That's only right.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think I did a little bit of research on how they're gonna schedule those games, and I think they said that if I remember seeing it correctly, the teams that are going to be playing on Christmas are going to be teams that played a game like the previous Saturday or something like that.
Yeah, according to what it says, here, they will have played Saturday, December 21st. So it'll be equivalent to those teams playing on a Sunday and then on a Thursday. So, continuing on real quick. Let's see. Here's an announcement. The Hall of Fame game has been announced. It will be the Bears versus the Texans on August 1st, which is a Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Nice.
Makes sense with the 3 out of the multitude of signees, Hall of Fame inductees being former Chicago Bears players. So, the Miami Dolphins had made a contract offer to Odell Beckham Jr. last week. So, also, let's see. Wide receiver Quez Watkins is signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Former Eagles wide receiver. Let's see real quick. Oh yeah, the annual head coaches meet up was this week. Everybody was there except for these coaches: Mike Tomlin, Sean Payton, Mike McCarthy, Nick Sirianni, and Matt Eberflus.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yep. Let's see here. Also, real quick. Eagles are signing former Cowboys and Patriots quarterback Will Grier to a 1-year deal.
No, great to give us a backup for the backup spot.
Yep. Chiefs are finalizing a deal to send franchise cornerback L'Jarius Sneed to the Titans.
Final piece, so that Kansas City Chiefs defense going away.
Yep. And it's a nice contract too for Sneed.
Yep. He's getting a trade is pending physical, it says. So
if everything goes through, I think the report said it's $76 million on like a 4 or 5 year deal with $55 million of that guaranteed.
Yep.
Wow.
Exactly.
What the Titans, they sure have lost a lot of money, but they sure are spending a lot of money too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Panthers got Bengals and Rams safety Nick Scott. The Giants have reached an agreement to bring back wide receiver Isaiah Hodgins.
Another 4 receiver.
Yep. After 3 seasons, C.J. Henderson is leaving Carolina to join the Texans.
Interesting. Oh, I saw a really interesting piece of information. Apparently, it has been confirmed that former Bills and Patriots running back Damian Harris has shockingly announced his retirement at the age of 27 after only a 5-year career.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, I happened to see a story about that. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah. Cowboys free agent wide receiver Michael Gallup is scheduled visited Thursday with the Baltimore Ravens. Former Bears running back Dante Foreman is signed with the Cleveland Browns.
Interesting.
What about this? Cameron Sutton. They're looking for him. They're looking for him right now. Apparently, he's been looking for him for about 2 weeks now because an arrest warrant has been issued in a domestic violence case.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to have a darkness retreat just like Aaron Rodgers.
Apparently so. Here's something right here. ESPN and the College Football Playoff have reached agreements that ensure ESPN will continue as the executive worldwide rights holder to college football's postseason event through the 2031-2032 season.
Wow. Interesting.
And real quick, before we continue, William says here in the chat, he said, like Jack Lambert said, they ought to put skirts on the quarterbacks.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much the biggest pieces of news I have for this week.
Yeah, put skirts on the quarterbacks and have them do a pirouette.
Ain't it? Let's see. I think that's all the biggest pieces of news I have for this week, actually. Let's see here. This is Dak Prescott will play on the current Cowboys deal in the 2024 season. That's about it. Let's see. That's about it. Yeah, that's it for the world in the NFL. Let's move on to the other big topic, which is, of course, March Madness. March Madness, we are a week in, and what a tournament it's been already. So many shocking upsets. Just internally some great games, like you said, Steven, in the intro. Overtime games, double overtime games. You had tie seeds getting kicked out. You had you got to think by the time our show ended into Wednesday, by Friday morning, 87% of brackets were busted. By Friday night, every bracket was busted.
And I bet you a lot of those people had Kentucky in their brackets because what a stunning upset.
Friday morning,
Guilty.
Friday morning, there were 2,100 brackets left at that point that were still perfect. By Friday night, 0. So nobody right now on the planet has a perfect bracket because of these upsets. And we are also now in the Sweet 16, which, of course, real quick, I'm gonna pull up the bracket real quick so that way we can take a look.
I actually have a bracket right here.
Oh, okay. Well, I was pulling up the one on NCAA.com too as well.
Oh, gotcha.
So I could read some of the games as well. So right now coming up for the Sweet 16, we got UConn, who took care of Northwestern who took care of FAU in the first round and then took care of Northwestern in the second round, taking on San Diego State, ranked number 5.
A rematch.
Yes.
Of the national championship game last year.
And then you have the Fighting Alumni, Illinois, number 3, took care of whatever. What's the name of the team? Duquesne. Took care of Duquesne and took care of Morehead State, taking on Iowa State, number 3 versus number 2.
And William said last week in our comment section of the show, he said, watch out for Illinois. They could be dangerous. And so far, they're living up to their dangerousy.
Yep. And of course, the number 1 seed on that side of the bracket, the North Carolina Tar Heels, who took care of Michigan State and Wagner, are going to take on Joey's Alabama Crimson Tide.
Michigan State gave them boys a run for their money in that first half, and then the Tar Heels took over in that second half.
Yes, they did. So we got that, and then Clemson taking on Arizona.
Man, okay, speaking of Clemson, how the hell do you blow a 15-point lead in the second half? Like, seriously, they were up 15 and nearly blew the game.
Because that's
Well,
how.
I think you can ask. Let's see. You can ask Nevada that same question.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely. On the other side of the bracket, we have Houston versus Duke.
Oof, Houston is lucky.
They got so lucky.
Yep, 195 in that last game, squeaked by the skin of their teeth.
Texas A&M came back to tie this game, and Houston got lucky.
They got very lucky.
Yes, they did. North Carolina, and then of course we had NC State versus Marquette coming up.
That was a close game on Sunday with Marquette.
Yeah, absolutely.
That the state and Oakland game, that was a good game.
Oh,
that
hell
was a
yeah.
wonderful
yeah,
game.
that was
And
a great game.
Both, to be honest, that was two Cinderella teams both, because NC State's played like, I think they said 12 game or 6 games in 12 days, some crazy shit like that. And then Oakland, of course, what they
5
did.
games in 5 days to win the ACC championship.
Yep.
Yeah, and then played another 2 games in a span of 3 or 4 days, something like that.
Span of 3 days, yeah.
Then you had Creighton versus Oregon in a double overtime classic.
Yep.
And, that's a game I want to talk about, because you had fans online.
Steven, let me run through the rest of the Sweet 16, and we can go ahead and do that, okay?
Okay.
And then we got number 1 Purdue, who has dominated both teams they faced. 78-50 over Grambling State, and 106-67 over Utah State, taking on Gonzaga.
That's gonna be a good one.
Tell you what, Gonzaga, they made Kansas look sick.
Yes, they did.
89-68 final score. And then finally, Creighton will take on Tennessee.
And speaking of Creighton, that is the game for me for the weekend. Like, going into the weekend, I thought the Oakland Kentucky game was the best game so far. Creighton and Oregon topped that. Like, that was an epic game. And yes, the final score may not dictate that the game was close and it was a classic. Don't let the final score fool you, because them boys on both sides of those teams gave it their all in that game. And you had fans coming out saying, oh, they need to change the overtime rules, because, give it 3 minutes and then 2 minutes. No. If you cannot stop an offense at all, mostly during the game, then you don't deserve to win the game, period. Creighton's offense got hot and we're hitting shots, just like that. It's a make or miss league, folks. And, and Creighton's players kept firing. They kept shooting, because Ashworth was missing wide open shots and Alexander was missing wide open shots. But what did they do? They kept firing. And then eventually the shots were going to fall. And they did. Those 2 back-to-back threes were critical in that second overtime.
I will say something, Steven. You got one thing right, and that's the final score doesn't always tell the story. Because let me cross play the sport real quick. Everybody act like the Dallas Cowboys lost 48-32, but don't act like them motherfuckers weren't down 48-16. Don't you act like they weren't blown the fuck out and they came within 10. Same with college basketball. The final score does not tell the whole story on any game.
Exactly.
And you know what? I gotta say is that what I gotta say is, there was some shocking, we saw some shocking defeats in that first round. Of course, like we mentioned, the famous Kentucky loss, which unreal. Somehow Kentucky blew that one, 80-76, losing to Oakland in that first round. Number 3 getting knocked out, and then of course we got to talk. What was the other team? Oh yeah, that other team who shocked the world. What was their name? Oh yeah, it was Yale, who took out Auburn, 78-76. Unreal. Never expected Yale, a school that's not, a school you don't think of when you think of the words college basketball and champions. But when you look at that school, they came to play and they played hard in that game, and they proved their mettle by defeating one of the top ranked teams in that whole bracket. So good on them.
Yeah, and I'll give you another very surprising upset. How about the team that took out St. Mary's in the opening round? Grand Canyon, a private school out of Arizona that plays in the Western Athletic Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
And I gotta say, I'm happy to see both Indiana and Illinois schools represented. Still, obviously, Northwestern getting knocked out was a disappointment, but seeing the Fighting Illini and, of course, Purdue, the Boilermakers, still in it, I'm excited. I'm excited to see. Hopefully, they can continue the momentum, but we'll see. Obviously, I want to get your guys' opinions, though. What are some of the games that you were able to watch, highlights, whatever? What is the one game that either what was your favorite game of the first week?
Hands down, Creighton and Oregon. Hands down.
I agree, but I also, like I said, I like the NC State and Oakland game because
that one was my favorite up until the Creighton.
Basically, my FanDuel bet basically came down to that game. But it was good. It was good to watch the end of it though. Like I thought NC State was gonna pull away, and Oakland kept shooting it and tied the game and went to overtime, and eventually NC State just had too much.
Goalkeeping was amazing for Oakland during those two games.
Yes.
He had 10 threes against Kentucky and 6 more threes.
And the way that guy from NC State, DJ Burns, is, you think that was Baby Shaq out there. He got 400
He's a man amongst them boys.
He bullies anybody.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Paul McNeil's coming to a good situation next year at NC State.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Steven, it's very interesting that you bring up the name Golke because I did a little bit of research on Golke. And I know I told you this already, Steven, but I found a mind-blowing statistic that nobody will possibly even think about researching about Golke.
Bring it on.
Counting the regular season, conference tournament, and NCAA tournament, Oakland played 36 games this season. Golke only had 6 games in which every single shot he took was not a three-pointer. Only 6 games.
The Steph Curry effect.
He reminds me of that guitar player that ain't never met a solo he didn't like, just like Golke. He ain't never met a three he didn't like taking. And
I'm just like, what?
You know what? It's fun. The best part about March Madness and the NCAA tournament is we get the chance to see guys that are seniors at college that probably ain't gonna go to the NBA. They're probably gonna be some damn lawyers or doctors next year. Just go into the tournament and just give some NBA lottery pick that work and drop 30 on them and beat their team.
Real quick here in the chat, my friend Sister Abigail has joined the chat, and she says, Ezra, she loves your punk shirt.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
And also to add to William's comment here in the chat, William, I am in full agreement with you. I think that Gonzaga has Purdue's number because Purdue is a team I do not trust going down in the tournament because they have a track record that's not great.
Yeah.
But We could be seeing history repeat itself because think back in 2018 when Virginia became the first number 1 seed to lose to a number 16 seed.
Mm-hmm.
What happened the next year?
They won the championship.
They won the championship. Last year, Purdue lost to a number 16 seed.
Could they win the chip?
Exactly. Could they win the championship? I mean, we could see history repeat itself.
And Zach Edey is he can play. That boy can play. I mean, Sunday in Purdue's win, he had a dominant game. Dominant performance.
Yes, they
I'm
got
telling
the
you one
baller.
thing. Whoever drafts him, they're going to get a nice big man down under.
Yes.
You know what? I will also say this about the tournament as a North Carolinian. It's very good for the first time in 9 years that the 3 premier schools in North Carolina are all in the Sweet 16. And I hate to say it because I hate UNC. I hate them with a passion. I hope they just get the bridge dropped on them like the bridge fell in Baltimore. But I'm glad that I'm glad that North Carolina
just didn't.
Because to be honest, guys, NC State, that's going to be my dark horse team that I pull for just because of Paul McNeil next year. So if they're not playing Duke, you bet your ass I'm betting on NC State. That's going to be my guys. I hope to see State in the Elite Eight. I hope to see Duke in the Elite Eight. And Carolina can go lick a llama's anus for all I care.
Well,
But Duke and NC State, I'm cool with.
That's actually a pretty interesting point because if Duke and State win their games in the Sweet 16, those two will be facing each other in the Elite Eight.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be good. That's going to be good.
Those two will be facing each other in a rematch of the ACC tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and it was funny because watching ACC tournament, I had UNC fans clowning me. Oh, State beat on. Oh well, guess what happened? Well, ain't talk about the damn pot calling the kettle black. You go out and get your ass beat by State too. So who's talking now? So yeah, that goes up your Carolina fans.
All right, real quick before Kevin has to leave us, we want to do something. I want to do something real quick. Let's predict the Sweet 16. Let's go. Starting off with UConn and San Diego State. Who do you got?
Give me UConn by 7.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yes.
I picked them since day one. I'm sticking with them. UConn all the way.
I'm gonna say UConn, but I think San Diego makes it interesting. I think UConn start blowing them out, and I think San Diego chips away and they come within 6, and that's the final.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go. I'm actually gonna go safe scores UCAF 6 with the 6 UConn. Next game, Fighting Illini versus Iowa State.
Ooh, this one's gonna be a tough one, but I'm actually gonna go with the Cyclones. I'm going Iowa State. In a nail biter.
I'm going with the Fighting Illini.
Yep. Okay. You know what? I gotta go for it. I gotta go for my boy Brock Purdy's alum school, Iowa State. Give me Iowa State by 3.
Okay.
Yeah, give me Iowa State.
Kevin, I'll give a pass to. The other two, go fuck yourselves. We have 2 openings in the sports show. Anybody interested, please email me.
You'll be here, well, because you ain't going nowhere.
Well, I think Dak Prescott might want a job because he's gonna be out of a job next year.
Oh,
Oof.
ew.
Oh.
That's brutal.
Maybe they can hire Tony Pollard since he's not doing much right now.
Oh.
Better yet, the Cowboys can rewrite Tony Romo.
Maybe Tony Romo can come out.
Jim!
I probably lose the last 5 people that watch this show.
Maybe Tony
You know
Romo
what?
could come.
They do got Jim Nance calling the college basketball games. I wish they'd had Tony Romo in there. It'd be Jim, I don't know. It might be a 2. It might be a 3. I don't know, Jim.
You know what? Maybe Tony
Let me
Romo
sit
should
up.
come out of retirement and finish his story.
Oh, my God. His story. No, it's going to be like the Cowboys, a forever ending saga. They're on chapter 437 of the sequel. It ain't no sequel. It's a damn 300 sequel or
Yeah,
something.
well, I'm telling you one thing. If the Cowboys cheerleaders can have their own show, then the Cowboys players need to have their own show too.
You know what?
More specifically, the family members of Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons.
You know what? Okay, I got something to say. Before I leave the show and predict the rest of the Sweet 16, I'm going to leave y'all with one more joke. And it's the fact that Jalen Hurts, everybody, yes, this guy was born. He went to school. He went to college. He played at Alabama. He transferred, played at Oklahoma, went to the Eagles, sat a whole year behind Carson Wentz, came in there and still went to a Super Bowl all before the Dallas Cowboys reached the NFC Championship game. That is like 3 centuries waiting right there. Jalen Hurts has lived his whole life and made a Super Bowl before the Cowboys got to an NFC title game.
Wow.
And that's the quote, folks. That's the quote.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
All right. Moving on here, folks. Oh, that was great. Clemson, Arizona.
Arizona.
Ooh.
I do not trust Clemson at all.
Arizona.
Give me Arizona by 15.
Oof.
I wouldn't go that steep.
No,
I mean, Clemson can be a good team at times.
Arizona
I'll say give me Arizona by about 8.
Okay.
I'm going Arizona. I think Arizona's going to be a Final Four team, to be honest.
All right.
So I'm going to go Arizona by 6. No,
Okay.
7. I'll say 7.
Okay. All right. Houston versus the Duke Blue Devils.
Hang on, we missed one.
Did we?
Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina versus Alabama.
UNC. Oh.
Joey versus Kevin here.
I might be a little biased because I honestly think that Carolina has the better talent, but I'm going Alabama. I'm going to go Alabama by 12. I think they blow them out.
Ooh,
12-point win for Alabama. UNC has that. They love to play that one game like they did the ACC tournament where they just not show up. We're like Patrick Starr living under a rock, and I think this is that game.
Kevin. As much as I want to agree with you, I can't. The reason I am picking Carolina to win this game is because I have seen more Alabama games this year than any other team on TV. And let me tell you one thing. Alabama, they are a good team. I'll give them that. Yeah. But at the same time, they tend to make mistakes in pressure situations, and they don't seem to do good against a team that has a halfway decent defense. And
I get that.
Carolina at least has a halfway decent defense. And
I get that because
Alabama relies too much on the 3-point shot to where it winds up costing them games. I mean, they easily lost games that they lost games this year that they could have easily won. They had taken so many 3-point shots. So I'm sorry, but I got to go Carolina in this game.
You know what? See, Joey, analytics say you are absolutely right. But as Dick Vitale would say, that's what March Madness is about, baby. Anybody can be beat on any given week. That's what I think that game's coming into.
And I agree with both of your points on this game. But I honestly, Kevin, I think you are spot on when it comes to Carolina. But I don't think that game is this game against Alabama. I think it's the next game in the Elite Eight. I think they just missed out the Final Four because Carolina is due for one of those games where they absolutely don't show up at all.
I've seen them do it all year this year. I got friends on Facebook, and you could tell when it's that game. For 2 weeks straight, they'll play great, and then on the weekend, can't make a shot, can't guard nothing. And I said, here we go. Georgia Tech, they lost twice. It's just one of them games. So I'm gonna go Alabama though.
I'm gonna go Alabama in a close one. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Carolina in a close game. I'm gonna go Carolina by 5.
I'm gonna go with Alabama by 6.
I'm gonna go with Carolina by 4.
Okay. All right. Like we said, next one. Like I said, Houston and Duke.
And
Kevin
this
picked-
game right here, we're gonna see our first number 1 seed fall. Houston cannot be trusted. They barely squeaked by Texas A&M by 5 points in a game they easily should have lost. They are not going to get so lucky with Duke. Give me Duke by 7 points.
You know what? I had Houston going in to my Final Four. You know what? Fuck it. Give me Duke by 10.
Whoa,
Ooh.
double digits.
You know what? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really expected Duke to get upset last week to James Madison. I just know that as a Duke fan, that's what we do best. We lose to the small teams from small schools, like that time we lost to Lehigh and CJ McCollum. I'm just
Yes.
so used to heartbreak, but against bigger teams and in bigger moments, Duke is about it. And I think they beat Houston. I think they beat Houston by 5. I think they come back after losing in the first half and come win by 5.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next game. Oh wait, my pick. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna go with Houston in this one by 5.
Okay.
All right. Next game. NC State versus Marquette.
All right.
Ooh.
You know what? I'm riding the hot hand. I'm going NC State by 3.
I'm going to go Marquette.
I'm honestly going to ride the hot hand as well. I'm going NC State on a game-winning buzzer beater.
Give me Marquette by 4.
I'm going to ride with NC State. I'm going to go NC State by 2.
Ooh. Game winner or
game winner. Yeah, game winner.
Okay.
We're
due for one.
All right. Yep, Purdue versus Gonzaga.
You know what? I'm going to go with Gonzaga because Purdue is the number 1 team I do not trust. Prove me wrong. I'm going to go with the Bulldogs to beat Purdue. I'm gonna go with Gonzaga to beat them by 3, but Purdue misses a game tying 3 at the buzzer.
Okay.
I am actually gonna go against you, Steven. I'm going Purdue by 6.
Ooh, okay.
I think Purdue is gonna be up by 2 points heading to the final seconds, and I think Gonzaga is gonna go cold from the free throw line. And Purdue's going to hit at least 4 and give us a 6-point win.
Okay.
It's a tough one for me, but I'm going to go with Purdue. I'm going to go with Purdue by 4.
You know what? I'm going Purdue. I'm going Purdue by 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that works. And then finally, Creighton versus Tennessee.
Give me Tennessee. Creighton is a good school. Tennessee has been known to struggle at times, but if I know the SEC, Tennessee is definitely the best team in the SEC, and they are not going to have 2 bad games in a row. So give me the Volunteers by 4.
I agree with Joey. Give me the Volunteers. I had them winning by 7.
I have the Volunteers winning by 6.
You know what? I'm going to go the opposite. Only because these fuckers fucked me out of $600 on DraftKings. Listen, my bet was Tennessee against the spread, which means the spread was 5.5 points. Tennessee had to win by more. Tennessee was up by 13 at halftime. Then I turn around and it's a 3-point game, and Tennessee only wins by 4 and screws me out of $600. So you know what? I'm going Creighton by 1 point. I'm petty. Yes, I'm petty tonight. Creighton by 1. Your volunteers are going to be volunteering at the local damn community grocery store because you ain't going to be playing next weekend.
Absolutely.
I love it. Kevin turns his venom, his hate towards a team over money. I love it.
Yep. Absolutely. Kevin, man, we're glad to have you back for the first hour. Thank you so much, man. Dude, we missed you, man. And we hope to have you on more in the future. I know you've been working on your health. You got your daughter to take care of, family life, of course. But, man, when you're ready to come back full time, we'll be waiting for you, brother.
Yes, sir. I hope to be here more often and longer next time. But I definitely had a good time joking with you guys and talking about March Madness and the NFL and NBA and stuff. Oh, one real quick before because I didn't get to mention this. What the fuck, Boston? The Boston Celtics 30-point leads to the Atlanta. I'm sorry, but 30-point lead against the Atlanta Hawks with no Trae Young. What is wrong with you? This is why I do not take you jabronis serious in the day up there in New England. You jabronis out there got all this talent, all this shooting, and all of a sudden you jabronis can't shoot a three to save your life, and then Atlanta makes everything and comes back and beats you. Oh, this is why you're going to get put out in the playoff before the damn NBA Finals every year. That's what Boston resorts to. They are the most stagnant offense at times because they rely, like I just said, shooting threes, jacking up shots. I swear to God, it seems like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, all they do is wish they're Steph Curry and just start heaving up shots. So,
Yeah,
if it goes in, it goes in.
You know who the Celtics team reminds me of is the freaking Bruins in the NHL.
Oh, yes.
yes.
They're good for blowing leads. Good for blowing leads. This is like Boston's 10th blown lead this season. This time it's the most. They've blown leads of 17, 18, 22, 21, 15, 16, 19.
Yep.
21 again to the Warriors. Yeah. Dude.
And see, and now Boston is the one in 152-1, as in a record of teams that have a 30-point lead at any point.
Dear God.
Terrible.
Okay, but anyways, I just had to get that off my chest. I'll let you guys go, and it's been great talking sports with y'all guys, and I hope and try my best to be on next week, same time. But anyway, I'll holler at y'all boys. Hope everybody has a good night. Peace.
All right, Kev.
Later, brother. Oh, fantastic.
Man, that was great. First hour, Kevin back with us. Woo! Man, an exciting first hour. We got March Madness in, we got the NFL in, and now, since Kevin brought it up, let's get right into the world of the NBA. And really, in the world of the NBA, really, of course, we're counting down the games until it's time.
I believe each game has anywhere between 10, 11 games left.
Something like that, because the play-in tournament begins in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, April 16th, actually.
Yep, absolutely. And right now, there's some games being played right now. The Bucks are up on the Lakers 32-14.
32-14. Oh, you gotta love it.
Mind you, the first quarter it just ended.
What?
Oh, God Almighty!
LeBron's liable to walk out at halftime and just leave the game.
Or better yet, he'll walk out with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Also, real quick, going on right now, close one, Golden State, Miami. Golden State up 20-18 with 3:02 left in the first quarter.
Interesting.
Also getting ready for tip-off is the Thunder and the Pelicans. And then later tonight, at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, is the Dallas Mavericks and the Sacramento Kings.
Interesting slate of games. Except for the Bucks and Lakers, that one's going to be a blowout.
We hope so. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
I know better than to do that. Being a Bears fan, I know that very well. Memphis Grizzlies injury report for tomorrow's game versus the Lakers. Man, questionable, doubtful. They have a lot of players who are out. Oof.
Yeah, Memphis has had a lot of trouble.
By the way, you know why they're
healthy.
probably losing? The Bucks or the Heat or the Lakers are? No LeBron.
Ah,
He's
that
out.
makes sense.
LeBron
Well,
is
there you
out.
go.
There you go.
There's an NBA investigation going on into prop betting irregularities around Jonte Porter of the Toronto Raptors. So so prop betting, he's into that. Let's see what else. We forgot to talk about this. The new basketball coach in Michigan is Dusty May of Florida Atlantic.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yep. Forgot to mention that. We were mentioning that. Russell Westbrook is set to return possibly as soon as this week from hand surgery. And it's only been 3 weeks. Healing up quicker than what maybe he thought. Oh damn! Sacramento Kings guard Kevin Herter suffered a dislocated left shoulder in a labral tear. Oof. Let's see here. And that's pretty much it on the main front here. Oh, here we go. Trae Young is progressing in his rehab from finger surgery with no timetable to return.
Oh, ladies and gents, Hijacker Mike is in the chat.
What up,
Hijacker? What is
He
up,
says,
my
"What's
dude?
up?" He said he's at the junior varsity game with the kid. He said he wants to tap in. Let's see, at the bottom of the inning if we would like. Of course we would, brother. Come on in.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
man.
dude.
Keep the show going. We want you in. We want to talk a little baseball with you coming up here in a few minutes. Absolutely.
Come on in, Hijacker, whenever you want to, man.
You know you're more than welcome, my friend. Come on in and hang out with us for a little bit. We don't mind. You're more than welcome. I mean, you do the intro to our show, so you definitely have a pass there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, and speaking of baseball, there is one thing that's been on my mind when it comes to baseball. What it's starting this week is, well, technically it started last week because the Padres took on the Dodgers in Korea. But the one thing that's been bothering me about baseball is, why are you starting these games? You know, I understand it's in a different country, but nobody in their right mind at 6 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, 3 o'clock on the West Coast, is going to be staying up early hours into the morning watching a baseball game for 4 to possibly 5 hours. Nobody in their right mind is going to be doing that.
Especially if you have a lot of runs scored, like there was in that second game when the Padres won 15-11.
Exactly. That game went on for ages. And I'm sorry, but that's just bad marketing by baseball. This is why, I mean, even though those games were close, I don't think the ratings were that good because nobody is going to stay up, you know, that early in the morning when they have jobs to do, when a lot of people in the world have jobs to do, when they, you know, when people are sleeping, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, and on the West and stuff like that. I mean, come on. I mean, even though you're a sports fan, you got to think logical. You got to think reasonable. You can't do that. Like that is bad scheduling, especially after hearing about Ohtani hitting that home run in the first game. Then I heard on ESPN Sports Center, oh, second game's going to be 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what? Why? It's horrible. And yet baseball wonders why their ratings, and nobody talks about baseball like that, It's because of bad marketing and bad scheduling like that.
Absolutely. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to one of my buddies who is watching the show right now, Mr. Tony Dixon. What's up, my dude?
So, man,
But
Going on,
yeah,
brother?
speaking of Shohei, I mean, this is definitely one of the biggest news stories that has been going on in the majors over the past couple of days, and that is the whole investigation that has been launched with Shohei Ohtani and his former interpreter with the whole gambling scheme.
Yeah, that's something I definitely want to bring up. Let's go ahead and talk about it real quick while we wait on Hijacker join us at the bottom of the hour. And that is this: there was a report that came out that Shohei Ohtani and his former manager were supposedly betting on games, and it's become a big issue right now in the world of Major League Baseball. And this is not good press to have for Shohei, who's coming off surgery, only playing one position this year, signed that huge ass contract, and he's had all this press and all stuff, and now all of a sudden this comes out. I mean, Joey, you have all the details right in front of you. Do you want to go ahead and
Yeah, give me just a second. I can pull up the
no problem, man.
full slate.
While we wait, please enjoy some elevator music. Oh no, wait, no, we don't have that.
Yeah, so apparently Shohei Ohtani, with now his new interpreter, held a press conference Monday afternoon, giving his thoughts about what has, of course, gone down with his former interpreter, and he was reading off some notes for like a good 10 to 12 minutes, saying how he had no recollection or any idea that his former interpreter was doing this. But I mean, something just doesn't stick right with me. I mean, yes, Ohtani is a great player who makes millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. But at the same time, even though you have all that money in your bank account, knowing that 4.5 million of it just goes missing like the blink of an eye, and you not knowing about it until your interpreter actually tells you, yeah, I'm sorry, but that doesn't stick well with me. That doesn't stick with me.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not a good idea.
yeah, see, and nobody is gonna notice that kind of amount of money missing and you not doing anything about it. I'm sorry, that's just, I mean, Ohtani may be found innocent. More than likely, he will be found innocent in regards to this whole gambling, betting scandal, but I don't know. I mean,
It's
the
not a
fact
good
that
look.
Ohtani, yeah, it's definitely not a good look. And the fact that Ohtani is, of course, the only player, obviously, that is mentioned makes it that much more, I would say, embarrassing and kind of humiliating. Because the fact that Ohtani signed this record-breaking deal with the LA Dodgers, and now all of a sudden he could be facing a suspension, possibly a banishment, if
Yes,
we're really stretching it here.
because Pete Rose obviously,
Yep,
admitted
Pete
later
Rose.
that he was
There you go.
gambling, and he got banned.
There's a good prime example. Pete Rose was found betting on games, and now not only can he appear in his sort of baseball capacity, but he can never be inducted into the Hall of Fame because of
And if
what he did.
Ohtani is found guilty, and if he's banned from the league, there goes his career, there goes that contract, and there goes
Yeah.
him possibly getting into the Hall of Fame. This
Yeah.
could be a black eye on baseball that they do not need and they
Exactly.
do not want.
I mean,
that's the question.
Obviously, going into the year, the LA Dodgers are going to be one of the top teams to watch because of all the talent that they were able to sign or keep on their roster this year. But honestly, if Otani is found guilty, which I'm pretty much 99 point, I would say 95% sure that he's going to be found innocent right now until we get more information. But if he is found guilty and winds up getting suspended for a year or possibly just banished or banned for life, like you said, Steven, this could be a black eye that could have easily been avoided. But it seems like nowadays not only Shohei, but all these other all
There
these,
he is.
all these other professional athletes are finding themselves getting FaceTime on news for the wrong reasons.
What's going on, brother?
All right, ladies
What's
and
going on,
gentlemen,
Hijacker?
please welcome.
What's up, y'all?
Please
What's
welcome
going
the
on?
host. Please welcome the host of Smoking in the Bay, Nationwide Fights, producer of both of our shows, and the only man who's had more on his plate than a hot dog eating contest contestant, Mr. Hijacker Mike. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show again.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Doing good.
We were just talking about the whole baseball situation with Shohei Otani. Just this could be very damaging if evidence is revealed.
Yeah, that's very true, man. It could be a problem. I think it's going to be a problem for him. As you see right there, I don't know if you see the zoom in. That's the kid on the deck circle right there.
Nice.
But yeah, no, Shohei, I don't know if he's involved with it or not. Not sure if he got in it or if it was the interpreter that did all that mess, but we're going to see and soon find out. Like I said, I'm just getting out of the election, so I have been absent from wrestling and sports, so it's just slowly getting back into it right now. This is actually the second week I've been able to get into things, but I've been actually catching up with the kids' baseball games because I missed the first month from elections.
Yeah.
And we were also talking about also as well with like how bad the marketing and scheduling was for the first two games with the Padres and the Dodgers starting so early in the wee hours of the morning here on the East Coast and the West Coast.
Yeah,
that I'm sorry, but that's awful. You can as one of the four major sports leagues in North America, you cannot have a sporting event starting at 6 a.m., 3 o'clock in the morning.
No. Hold up. If you're a guy who's nocturnal like I am,
Here's a guy.
you work midnights like I am, if you stay up and watch Japanese wrestling at ungodly hours like I am, then it is perfect for you. But
This is true.
to a normal human being,
And
it's a different story.
seeing as how I got a new job just last week, I'm going to be having to go to work a lot earlier than usual, so I might have something to watch as I'm getting ready for work.
Maybe.
But yeah, I get it. The scheduling is horrible for 99% of people. It really is. It's to have a game so damn early in the morning at ungodly hours, especially people who are in the middle of going to work or getting ready to go to work on the drive there. They can't really. The only thing they can do is try to listen to the game, but they're not going to be able to watch it, obviously. So it doesn't really help with the ratings. It really doesn't.
I didn't even watch games when the A's were playing at 2 a.m. in Japan. The kid is at the plate here. If you guys can catch it here, he's in a 0-1 count right now. Well, tried to pick off at second there. So Chris is in a 0-1 count. He's playing my old high school at Irvington, and he's playing with Kennedy right now, but he's versing my old high school, and they are down at the current moment. He's at the plate with the runner at second. There's a shot to first. So he moved the runner over, grounded out, but he moved the runner over to third.
Nice.
Right. Now we're back here. All right.
So also
What's up?
also too, hijacker. We talked about not only in the world of that, but we also talked about in the world of football. We talked about the news that the NFL is officially banned the hip drop tackle from play.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's gonna be a tough one because that's something you've been trained to do for years. And how do you stop doing it? It's kind of like going after a player that's sliding like a quarterback. You're not supposed to slide at the quarterback. When they go feet first. We've been leading in with our heads for years on tackles. And it's like, when you're out there running full speed, how do you stop yourself and even think, oh, I can't tackle like this. I can't stop like this. I have to keep going forward. You can't stop in mid speed, man. These guys are running out there 20 miles an hour trying to make a tackle.
Especially when you're 6'1", 6'2", 250, 300 plus pounds coming at a guy. Like you can't, you cannot stop gravity from happening, and you cannot stop speed from coming at you at that many miles per hour.
No, and you're not thinking. All you're thinking is stopping the ball carrier. So all you're doing is stopping. You're thinking of stopping the ball carrier. You're not thinking like, oh, I can't hit him on the hips. Oh, I can't wrap him up like this anymore. How do you stop that? You can't stop it.
Yeah, it's just it's a ridiculous rule, and it's to the point where originally the NFLPA refused to go with it, and then Roger Goodell basically, like the president, vetoed their little thing and unanimously put it in himself, and it's ridiculous. It's a stupid rule. It's like Kevin said earlier in the show. It's basically turning the game into almost we're getting close to flag fucking football here, dude.
Yeah, with all these changes, that's technically what we're getting to. It's not fun to watch games anymore. When I was playing football 20 plus years ago, I was out there wrecking my body. And that's what I was doing to get to that next level to try to get to the NFL. Even the year I played in the CFL for a couple of months before I got cut and sent home from Saskatchewan. It's a dog eat dog world, man. You got to get out there and do what you can to play.
And also, too, Mike, to add to this, as an athlete, the pain that goes into this game. The risk that you're taking in when you put on the helmet and pads.
Yeah, you're technically risking your life. One wrong tackle could put you in a wheelchair, could end your life, send you 6 feet under, man. It's something we all challenge and strive for because it's what we love and want to do. But people don't understand that. I don't like when things are taken away. I want 1975 rules all the way back in football, but I understand they want to protect people, have people be healthy, in their 40s and 50s. We don't want to see what happened to like Junior Seau and things like that with CTE and all Penn Stabler. Right. We don't want that, and I understand. But when you get on that gridiron and you put on that helmet and you step in between those sidelines, you know what's about to happen. You know what's going to happen. You have to be ready at all costs. Even playing flag football, you can injure yourself and be messed up for life. So it's just something we have to deal with, and it's a part of life and part of the game when you choose to play pretty much any kind of contact sport for money. And I don't blame these guys getting these Patrick Mahomes $500 million contracts because you're putting your body through it, because when you're 60, you're going to feel like you're 100.
So, hijacker, I was reading your Twitter just now, and you have something coming up this Thursday at the last dive bar in Oakland 68 at the Coliseum. You'll be with them, catching up and bringing back the opening day boycott. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, the Last Dive Bar and the Oakland 68s are presenting opening day boycott. We will be in the parking lot full force boycotting the Oakland Athletics opener, protesting the team trying to leave with John Fisher and Dave Cavill leading that rally for them to go to Las Vegas. We are not going to be stopping people from going into the stadium, but we are encouraging people not to go. As of right now, there's about 13,000 tickets sold for this opening night, going to make it the lowest attended game for opening day baseball in the history of MLB. We will be out there. We will have giveaways. We will have food. I believe we'll have a band, but we kind of got hit by the Oakland A's because they, instead of opening the gates at around 2 p.m., 3 p.m., so you can go in and tailgate, they are not opening the gates until 5 p.m. So we can't even get across BART, which is Bay Area Rapid Transit. It's a train system like the subway system in New York and, across the country with city-to-city trains. They are not allowing us to come through the gates until 5 p.m., basically an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes before the game starts. Actually, no, I think the game starts at 7:05. So they're not going to open the gates until about 2 hours before the game. And we will not be able to probably get in the stadium until about an hour before the game starts, if whoever's going in. But we will be in the parking lot protesting. We will have games. We will have food. We will have live bands and music. It's going down, man. So we're hoping there's going to be more people in the parking lot than in the actual stadium for the game itself.
Hope so too, man. We throw our support in, of course. We've always been supportive of you guys and always been supportive of the boycott, sell the team. We've always been, we put that in our hashtags and we're right there with you, man. We want that change to happen so Oakland, that way the A's stay in Oakland and those changes can be made.
Definitely. But guys, I got to roll because I got to catch up the last few minutes on the kids' game, and then I got to head out to the lounge because I do got my Tuesday night shift. But I should be able to get back and jump with you guys throughout the baseball season like I have with football and talk a little baseball with you guys during the season.
All right, brother. Good, Hijacker.
All right, Hijacker. We look forward to it, brother.
All right, guys. Good talking with you, and we will see you shortly.
All right, buddy. Take it easy.
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right, Hijacker Mike with a little guest appearance there on the show. Also, I want to promote too. Also, since we're on this topic, there is a petition out there right now. If you go to change.org, there's a petition removing David Cavill as Cal UC Berkeley Parents Board co-chair. This is a petition that's started by several anti-Dave Cavill pro Oakland A's followers. You can sign a petition. Just go to at Let's Go Oakland or Let's Go OAK7 actually on Twitter. Hijacker Mike at of course Mr. Mac MISTA You can see on his Twitter if you want to go get the link and sign the petition to make that happen. Outside of that, I really don't have anything else to put. We kind of covered everything. Do you guys have anything you guys want to touch on before we roll out of here for today?
The only thing I got left is the fact that there was a noticeable thing in the college women's side of the bracket, and that's obviously.
Let's talk about that. Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to forget about that, but absolutely. Let's talk about the women's basketball bracket. We haven't gotten a chance to really. Well, actually, yeah, because because right now we are officially at the
Sweet 16 as well.
Sweet 16 as well in the women's bracket.
Yep. Which
noticeably, Iowa survived.
Yep. Here are the teams that are going to be playing. We've got it takes place on the 29th and the 30th. So those are your slates of games. Notre Dame will take number 2. Notre Dame will take on number 3 Oregon State, 2:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. All these games will take place on ESPN. South Carolina, number 1 versus number 4 Indiana. Number 2 Stanford versus number 3 NC State. Number 1 Texas versus number 4 Gonzaga. Then on Saturday, March 30th, LSU versus UCLA, Iowa versus Colorado, Southern California versus Baylor, and UConn versus Duke. So those are your slates of games for that. Any thoughts on the Sweet 16 so far?
I look for South Carolina to continue their dominance into the Elite Eight, and I think Iowa to punch
their ticket.
Yep, and Iowa
into possibly a rematch with LSU.
Yep, and I think Iowa is, poised now after of West Virginia gave them a run for their money in that game, and Iowa survived, and Caitlin Clark broke yet another record. She's always breaking records. I mean, scored
Absolutely.
32
Most
points
in a
in the
single
game.
season.
Yep, 32 points in that game against West Virginia, and they survived and they lived to fight on. And I still think we're on a collision course with South Carolina and Iowa in the championship game.
I think so too.
Yeah,
So.
and here's another little mind-blowing statistic. The women's tournament has something that does not have.
What's that?
Perfect brackets. There are three perfect women's brackets left.
Really?
Interesting.
Yes, 3 perfect women's brackets left.
Wow. That's pretty cool. So anybody who's doing the NCAA women's tournament, if you got a perfect bracket, pray and hold on tight, man, because you never know what that could come. You could win a prize, or you could just feel good about yourself that you picked a good bracket. We'll see.
And if you're going to bet on these games like Kevin did over the weekend, spend your money, bet on these games wisely and gamble responsibly.
Yep, absolutely. Gamble responsibly. Don't be like Shohei Ohtani.
Yep.
All right, guys. I don't have anything else, so let's do final thoughts. Joey, why don't you go ahead and start?
Once again, another great show with you guys. It was great having the four-headed monster back, even if it was for an hour. And it was also great having Hijacker up here for just a few minutes, talking some baseball with us. I mean, it's a great time to be alive if you're a sports fan, because
it's also a great time to be alive as a wrestling fan as well, because my God, what a Raw last night.
Yes, Raw last night was incredible. More a build up towards WrestleMania coming up in just under 2 weeks. I'm ready for it, as I'm sure everybody else is. So we got that coming up. We got some Sweet 16 action in both men's and women's. We got baseball coming up. And of course, not to mention, this weekend, we have the UFL starting up.
That's right.
The UFL is going to be starting up this weekend with the slate of games on Saturday and Sunday. So we got some football to watch, gentlemen.
Yes, we do.
Again, it is a great time to be alive. Thank you to the one, the only Travis Tritt for that amazing comment. And enjoy the sports wherever you are. Stay safe. Peace. See you guys next week.
Absolutely. And real quick, since you mentioned Travis Tritt, you mentioned country music, I want to say real quick, congratulations to this year's 2023 Country Music Hall of Fame inductees. Legendary guitar player who played with Elvis Presley, who played with Johnny Cash, James Burton, the legend, one of the most legendary voices of all time, John Anderson, of course, Swingin', Seminole Wind, Straight Tequila Night, and many other hits. And then finally, none other than the late, great Toby Keith will be going in as the modern day inductee, who was actually had the votes to go in, but unfortunately didn't make it to the call from the Hall of Fame to let him know that he was going in. So Toby will be inducted posthumously by his own son, who will be in attendance for the medallion ceremony. Which will take place in August later this year.
That's amazing.
So absolutely. And just real quick, I do want to point out that Toby Keith was actually going to be known that he was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, but of course his passing came the day before he was going to find out.
Yep. And then real quick little fact here, at my uncle's funeral, which took place Saturday, they actually one of the songs they played was one of Toby Keith's final songs, "Don't Let the Old Man In."
Wow.
So wanted to hear that. But Steven, Heavy Metal Brother, close this bitch out. Let's do it.
Yes, great show with you guys, and great to have Kevin in for the first hour, the power hour, and full of piss and vinegar. And yes, Cowboys fans, you had to hear that. I am so sorry. Not. And recapping
to Tony and Neil, yes, we are.
Yes. And to Abigail as well. And also really cool talking about the March Madness. happening over the weekend, and we look forward to the men's and women's brackets continuing this weekend. And it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be crazy down there in Detroit and LA and Dallas this weekend with these games happening. And who the hell knows will be in the Elite Eight, because for the first time in quite a long time, all number 1 and number 2 seeds are in the Sweet 16. Will all number 1s and 2s go to the Elite Eight, or will some of them stay? Or some of them go? We will have to find out. And also, don't forget to join the Nation's Corner this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, as the guys and gal recap a wild week in professional wrestling and talking about the road to WrestleMania, and especially an epic Monday Night Raw last night in Chicago. I mean, The Rock and Cody starting out the night, and Seth and Drew, and my goodness, and Punk, in that segment at the top of the second hour. Then you have Becky and Rhea at the third hour, at the top of the last hour, and then at the very end you had Cody and Rock, with Rock beating the ever living hell out of Cody, flooding him up, hitting him with the belt, putting his blood on the belt in the pouring rain in Chicago. Just what a night, what a Raw last night, on the edge of our seats as wrestling fans. It is a time to be alive as a professional wrestling fan, as a sports fan, because like Joey just said, we have the UFL starting out this Saturday, kicking off a full slate of games for the weekend. And we look forward to breaking that all down next week on another edition of the Sports Show. And you can follow us on Twitter at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook and YouTube.com at Our Nation Sports Show, and the Instagram at ON Sports Show. And also don't forget to follow the Nation's Corner on Twitter and Facebook at Nation's Corner, and on the YouTube at youtube.com/the Nation's Corner. With that being said, Ezra, wrap us up, my friend.
Oh, and real quick before we do go off the air, Boston is going to be the other site for the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 action games.
Thank you for that. Yep, Boston.
Yep, absolutely. And also real quick, let's see, right here, the Fox Sports, we talked about, as we mentioned, we talked about the UFL starting this week. They have announced that the broadcast team for the inaugural season will be critically acclaimed analyst Joe Klatt and none other than Fox Sports' own Kurt Menefee. They will be a part of that as well. But thank you guys for joining us, man. It's been a crazy game. And as we said, Saturday, Burlingame Stallions at Arlington Renegades at 1 p.m. Eastern. St. Louis Battlehawks and Michigan Panthers, 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Both games on Fox, so check your local listings. But thank you guys for joining us as always. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the love. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Follow this channel. Follow our social medias for this group, and also follow our individual social medias that are listed in the video and in the bottom description. Don't forget to follow, of course, Too Sweet Cosplay, Nation's Corner, all that stuff. Follow everybody on there, please. And thank you guys for joining us. What a hell of a show. Thank you, Kevin, for jumping in the first hour. We're glad to have you back. Thank you to Hijacker for jumping in a little bit at the bottom of the second hour. We appreciate that a lot. But it's time to get ready to close it out for tonight and watch some NXT. So, for Joey Thornton, for Kevin Roy, for our boy Randy Guard, who's always listening, to William, Sister Abigail, everybody in attendance, Stephen Wyatt, and of course, the nation itself. I am Mr. Vickery. We will see you right here next week for another great edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. And we will see you next Tuesday. Same time, same YouTube channel. Peace out.
Turn me up. Turn me up.